Hello class, let's go over how we're going to do some effects. We're going to do compositing, right? Green screen. So here I have some footage that I've shot with my daughter holding a branch. Now, of course, obviously I'm using the blue side of this screen because green would not work because the plants are green. So what I've done is I brought this directly into a timeline, a composition right off the bat. All right. Uh, thing to notice is that it doesn't matter if everything is covered with the screen, only the stuff that you actually want to cut out. And so the first thing I would do is to mask this out, the parts that I definitely do not need. So with this layer selected, and again, I'm doing this in CS5. There's really no changes for Creative Cloud, but if there's a desire for me to show another tutorial, I can do that. So you got to make sure this layer is selected, the one you want to add the mask to. If it's not, this won't work. It'll actually make a new layer with a solid. So let me just show you that. Using the shape tool, like the rectangle tool, or the pen tool, I'm just going to draw a mask over here. And so if I click on this, so this is what happens if you don't have that layer selected, right? It makes a new solid, and we don't want that. So I'm going to delete this layer, make sure I have this layer selected, and now when I do it, what it's going to do is it's going to make it in a mask, a garbage mask, quick mask, right? So I've masked out everything I know for sure I don't need, because the way that this swings through, it doesn't break the plane of the mask, and so this is pretty good. I could even come in further to get her hand out if I wanted to. That's step one. Step two is now to add the effect that we want to do, which is under keying, and we're going to use Keylight is the one we're going to use. This one's great for using the blue screen, the green screen, orange screen. Doesn't work on black and white if that's what you want to do. So we turn on that effect onto this layer, and you'll notice right away we have here the screen color. It has an eyedropper tool. We're going to click on the eyedropper tool and then just come out to the blue and click on it. And what After Effects has now done is trying to remove all that blue. Click off. You can see there's some artifacts still, right, that aren't being keyed out. And so we're going to take care of that. What I tend to do is I change this view from final result to status. And so now you can see, essentially, as you may imagine, what you want to keep should be white and what you want to delete should be black. And right now it's gray with only tiny bits of black. To change that, how it works, we're going to go open up Screen Matte, and we're going to clip the black, this right here, up a little bit. And you can see how that just a little bit of a change makes all that area black, right? I could clip this white in a little bit, so pull this to the left, and then this actual item won't be cut out so much. Won't have anything that kind of, because you can see some areas right here are gray in this plant, which is actually good, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. So let's go back to final result, and here we go. You can see that we have a cutout that's pretty decent. And maybe what I'll do is I'll change my background. Instead of being a purple, we'll change it to like a black. That way you can see like if any artifacts still exist. You can kind of scrub through and see what it looks like. But yeah, it looks pretty good. There's some other things you can do depending on your shot. Sometimes turning on the screen blur helps. So this is the screen pre-blur. You can crank that up. It should help with the edges. There's this option to do a gain. So let's see what it does for mine. You can see if I gain it the other way, if this will be if your color's off. There's a balance. So if you have like lots of yellows and you're shooting on green, or if you have maybe some purples and you're shooting on blue, you can adjust the screen balance to see if that helps you keep or remove some of that stuff. And what's actually really good, let's turn this off for a second. You see my daughter's bracelet, which is purple. This is a great example. I didn't even know that it was there. Turn this back on. You can notice at the preset or the standard set for this effect, that gets cut out, right? Let's turn on the transparency. You can see her bracelet's getting cut out. So by moving the screen balance the other way, I'm actually going to be able to keep that purple. See? And so now it's there. Oops, let me try that again. You can see it does that at the expense of things like right here. So watch this one right here. See how it's kind of transparent? If I bring that screen balance to the right, this becomes more obvious, like it's there, and this gets cut out. So it's just a matter of making sure that when you're shooting that you include the things you want to. So in this case, I don't need her bracelet, so it doesn't matter to me. So I would not adjust the screen balance. And again, I could bring this mask in closer if I definitely don't want that. All right. And so now we have this cut. This is ready to be used in a composition. You can of course move it around. In my case, I'm making a scene where I'm making it look like, you exist in nature, and there's just like this branch off to the side. And you can use these multiple times, right? So I could duplicate this and move it over here, and maybe even flip it, right? And maybe offset the time a little bit so they don't look so similar. And now I'm setting up a scene with one green screen of a sort of like naturescape, right? Now this effect is very RAM intensive. So if you feel like it's running slow, of course, turn down your full to a third or a quarter, right? But then also, if you're using a lot of green screen footage, it may cause troubles. Just so it depends on your program. So what I'll show you is kind of what I do if I'm using a lot of green screen footage. So rather than work in the composition where it has this effect on it and it has to be updated and using the RAM all the time, I will actually render this out. So I'll show you how to do that. You don't have to do this step, but if you work with a lot of green screen footage, you probably will do this step. My first step is to use this button right here. This is the region of interest button. If you click on this, you can draw a shape that's only going to look at the inside this, right? So if I turn, you can see that it's only showing me inside this. This is a way to save on RAM also, to look at small parts of the actual composition, right? So I make this the size where it's not going to get cut out. I could come in tighter here, and I could come in tighter here. The idea here is just to save on space, making a small video as small as possible. And you don't need to get so insane about this that you get it exact, but I like to get it close. Once you've done that, I'm going to go up to composition, and I'm going to go to crop comp to region of interest. And that makes this composition that size. So I've made it smaller. The idea here is I'm going to render this out so that I can use it again without having to have the effect applied to it. Again, you don't have to do this if you're doing a few effects, a few layers. I do it in my case for my project because I have a lot of layers, and it just takes more time to wait for that effect to work rather than just to render this out. And then I'm going to render this out, composition, make movie. And in this case, I have to make sure that I use this setting that I've made and you can make also. Is let's see here, QuickTime Alpha. So I'll show you what this is. I clicked on this setting right here to bring this up. I use QuickTime, animation, and then the channels here. Normally it's set to RGB, but you'll notice you have an option for RGB plus alpha. And so when you use this setting on any number of these formats, it's going to render it out with the color and the alpha channel, so that it'll show up as a alpha, that this will come along, right? Hit OK. I'll call it example. And I'll send it to the desktop so I know that I can throw it away later. All right, I'm going to bring that in. Example. And then you can use this freely. What's really nice is this has no effect to it, so it takes no RAM for this to work. And so now I can use it multiple times. Again, whatever you're thinking, if you have no ideas, just play around, just use your hands. But you could, make an entire scene just using these things. Now, of course, it'll look kind of weird because it's the same two. But there you go, right? Can create a tree just using 2 branches. And then you can add this, background, videos, stills, whatever you like. And that should be it. Thank you.